welcome back to another Cloud Safari short video tutorial. Today we are diving into the world of AWS, specifically focusing on Amazon S3. As we all know, AWS announces the general availability of AWS Mountpoint for Amazon S3, which makes a bit easier if you are running a Linux-based application and you are hungry for a way to directly and efficiently connect them to Amazon S3 buckets. So yeah, you are in the right place. So let's talk about AWS Mountpoint. AWS Mountpoint is a high performance open source file client specifically designed to make this integration as seamless as possible. Whether you are working on a large scale analytics, machine learning, ETL processes, this tool is engineered to accelerate your workload like never before. In today's tutorial, I will walk you through the process of mounting Amazon S3 on an EC2 instance, so you can harness the power of Amazon S3 directly within your application. So let's get ready to revolutionize the way you interact with Amazon S3, all while optimizing your performance and resource usage. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get started. Alright, before we dive in, let's make sure you have everything you need to follow along. Here are the prerequisites. You will need an AWS account to access the services we will be using. Make sure you have AWS CLI installed on your machine. If not, head over to the AWS documentation for the instruction. You should have basic understanding of EC2 and S3 services. If you are new to these services, don't worry, I will guide you through the process. If you have got all these ready, let's move on to the next step. If not, take a moment to set things up and come back when you are ready. Without further delay, let's start our demo. We'll create the S3 bucket in this section. So go ahead and log into your AWS account. Once you are logged in, you will open up a AWS management console and click on S3 bucket or navigate to S3 bucket and click on create bucket. Give your bucket a unique name. Remember, bucket name must be globally unique across all of the AWS accounts. So I am giving the name as demo S3 bug mount. I am leaving all of the configuration as default and click on create bucket. So our bucket is created. So after the bucket creation, we will create the EC2 instance. Now let's start to create an EC2 instance in which we will mount this S3 bucket. In order to do that, let's navigate to EC2 console. Click on launch instances, give the name of instance. I'm giving the additional honor tag, giving the value as Adex. I'm giving this tag also on volume level, and I'm leaving all of the configuration as default. I'm creating the new key pair. Let us suppose it will be demo auth key. I'm creating the demo auth key and leaving all of these configuration as default and launching the instance. So yeah, EC2 instance is created successfully. So let's wait for the instance state changes to running. As the EC2 instance is created and it's changing to running state, while it's changing to running state, let's create an IAM role and attach to that EC2 instance in order to access the S3 bucket. So head over to IAM console. So yeah, let's create a role. Click on create role. choose EC2 instance, as we are using this role for EC2 instance. So click on next. I'm giving the name as S3 role for EC2. S3 role for EC2, and click on create role, and the role is created. And let's create the policy. Click on policy, click on create policy, click on JSON and remove the default one and add this one. Click next. I'm giving the policy name as S3 policy for EC2 mount. Click on create policy, and the policy is created. And let's attach this policy into the role S3 role for EC2. Let's attach that policy. Add permission, and yeah, the permission is attached to the S3 role for EC2. And let's attach this role for EC2 instance profile. Click on action and go to security, modify IAM role, choose S3 role for EC2 and update IAM role, and the IAM role is updated. As the IAM role is attached to the EC2 instance, let's connect to that EC2 instance by doing SSH. Click on connect, copy the SSH command and open command prompt. Go to the downloads and paste that SSH command and connect that EC2 instance. Yeah, we are successfully connected to the EC2 instance. As we are connected to the EC2 instance, let's update the EC2 instance. And let's install the required packages with this command. Yeah, the installation of required packages has been completed. Now let's download the source from the Git. We are using the S3FS. So with this command, we are downloading the S3FS using Git. So we head over to the S3FS fuse directory and compile and install the repository. Let's configure this one as well. Sudo make install. As it's done doing its tasks, let's check S3FS is installed or not. It's the S3FS. So the S3FS is installed successfully, as you can see here. As S3FS is installed in this directory, so let's create a directory where we wanted to mount that S3 bucket. And the directory is created. Let's mount the S3 bucket on this path using strfs command. S3 bucket is mounted successfully using s3fs command. Let's check the mount point to confirm whether the S3 bucket is mounted or not successfully. Let's run this command again and check the S3 bucket is mounted or not again. And you can see the path is mounted. Let's go to this path and create a file on it. And we have this file, text.txt file. Let's check on S3 bucket, and after a few seconds you can see the text.txt file that we are created on EC2 instance. As you can see, which is also inside this S3 bucket. So this verifies that the S3 bucket is mounted successfully. And that's it. We have successfully mounted an S3 bucket on an EC2 instance. I hope this short video tutorial was helpful for you. If yes, do not forget to give a thumbs up, and if you want to learn more about cloud and DevOps related topics in future, you can subscribe to our channel and stay tuned to our Cloud Safari short video tutorial. Thank you.